Hey folks, welcome to the March 26th SIG Windows community meeting. Please note that this is a recorded meeting and will be uploaded to YouTube. And you should all adhere to the CNCF code of conduct, which basically translates to be nice and kind to everyone. So with that, let's kick the meeting off. Any announcements? I know that KubeCon is just done. Not sure if you have any other announcements at this moment, given that we're still sort of in freeze given the 130 release. James, do you have any announcements from your side?
Yeah, the one thing I would just mention is that we had a contributor add support for certificate rotation to the GMSA webhook, and so we added some end-to-end tests, and so that'll be coming out in the next release, which has been a long time ask from several different folks. So yeah, check it out in the next release. I'm going to do a release once 1.30 comes out. I'll bake in all the latest Go versions and things and do a release then. So exciting feature. I'll get a link to that and post it in the notes.
Yeah, that's the PR I think I also briefly reviewed. So all good stuff. Looking forward to the next release, James. Do we have any new contributors? I'm looking through the list and I don't notice anyone unless I'm missing someone else. If not, we can move on. All right, the next item is by Amin. Who is Amin on the call? I don't see him. We might have a short meeting then today, because this seems like the most pertinent thing to talk about. Let me just quickly ping him in case he's and I just realized I have not been sharing my screen. Right, can you folks see the document?
We can.
Okay, awesome. Let me see if I can get a hold of Amin. It looks like he wanted to talk about this. This is a PR question. I think it has something to do with adding Packer to do the install of the Windows 2022 image. Oh, wow. So this is actually pretty cool if he's able to. All right, let me go and find him. All right, while I pinged him, I have no issues with this. If it works with KVM, that's actually really cool. This is very similar to what I remember Red Hat doing for their golden image using Packer. So I'm fine with pushing it through, but I just want to listen to what Amin has to say about it before I do anything. Not sure if he's going to. He has some questions about the QCOW2 artifact. Oh, so that is his question. Whether we can publish the QCOW2 artifact. I don't know about that. I'm going to defer to you, James, on whether we could publish this QCOW2 artifact. I don't know. I don't see a reason to publish it actually, or where we would even publish it.
I'm not even sure what the K or the QCOW2 is. So
it's basically like a VMDK image, like an AMI.
It's equivalent to the VHDX you have on Hyper-V.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
the VM disk.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I'm not. I would have to go ask somebody. I think
wonder-
if we can probably provide the tools, I would guess, but I would have to get some clarification on that.
I wonder if he basically also ran sysprep as a command in the image, which
Yeah, so I'm trying to remember how Packer works. You don't need to explicitly run it, but as part of running the Packer script, I maybe remember it happening. I don't know. Is Sebastian on the call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I don't remember having to explicitly do a sysprep with the Packer stuff.
Yeah, I don't either. It's been a while since I've really looked at that though.
it should basically be a command, literally sysprep.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. So I'm just quickly moving to the.
So sorry, I had a conflict here.
Oh, no worries. I mean, thanks for showing up. We're just talking about your PR and about whether we could, publish it and things like that. And then I think we were wondering about sysprep and whether a sysprep is needed. And I like at Red Hat, they do the same sysprep thing. Sorry, they use Packer to set up the VM, and I don't remember us explicitly doing sysprep. I think as part of the
it's online 885 of this PR. So I think we need sysprep. That's...
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't try to run this project still on a cluster. So the idea is like to validate Packer works, and I can generate this image. So the next step is like to create a virtual machine and do the join the cluster, and probably is missing a lot of other steps compared with image builder and like enabling Windows containers, enabling HNS. There are a lot of missing pieces of that. I'm just like doing a POC, and that's what I want to share. It's not like ready.
Okay, so I mean, you can also look at what Red Hat has done with the Packer script. It's a little bit more fully fleshed out. And what I was trying to say is, while we were working on that, I don't remember us having to explicitly do a sysprep. It seems like, oh yeah. All right, we do. Okay, it's as part of the shutdown command. Okay.
That's on image builder is part of the a custom role that exists as well. So it's a required step that we need to do, besides a bunch of other things that are required to be installed.
Okay. So what is the request here? I mean, is it like, are you saying that do you want to use Packer? I mean, the same issue we are going to have with, Vagrant versus Packer exists, right? Because of the way HashiCorp is dealing with the license. I don't know whether that's an issue here.
Yeah, I think we can. One solution that Image Builder did was to stay on a version that doesn't have the license bumped yet for Packer. This could be one of the solutions. I'm not trying to recreate Image Builder. I'm trying like to generate this image for testing on Minikube, and I ended up open a PR on that. The question here is like about the publication of these K-call images. So is an artifact that can we legally publish? There's more a question for Microsoft folks.
Yeah, I think James is just mentioning that he needs to ask someone at Microsoft about it before, about whether they can move forward or not.
Okay.
I'll have to get back to you because I don't know the answer to that. Is if I'm pretty sure we'll be able to provide the scripts to be able to build it yourself. What is it if you publish the image? Does it just cut down on the startup time? Is that kind of? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Yeah.
Did you hear my question?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
What's the question? Sorry.
I was just wondering, like, if you publish the image, what's the advantage of that? Is that just so that it speeds up the build time? So you said here it takes about 8 minutes to build. If you publish the image, is it much faster because it's already pre-built?
I think the worst part for this experience is to build everything, you know. And the Linux side is in the advantage that they can just reuse a published image without any issues.
Okay. Yeah.
So in the best scenario, we could use this artifact that already exists, and in Minikube just call this and use the image instead of, okay, you need to run a bunch of prac commands and add one more point of failure in the entire experience, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
So
Thanks.
from
I'll follow up.
from my experience, but I could be totally wrong here, is that you are typically allowed to store build images like this, but you're not really allowed to distribute them. And I think in this scenario, it would basically be distributing them. So you can keep it in your own stores as long as, you know, only you, in quotation marks, access that image. Because, for example, if you try to search any sort of Windows images online, you're not going to find anything, probably because of the same reason that you're not allowed to distribute images.
Well, we might be running afoul of this then, because don't we have these vagrant images already distributed?
I don't know.
No, I'm actually asking you, I mean, because when you do vagrant up, it does pull in an image from the vagrant repositories, right?
Maybe it
Except,
should. Maybe it should not.
yeah, because that's, and I don't know, I don't remember who published it. It's not like SIG Windows published it. It's some individual published it, and that's we've been using it.
Yeah.
So I might be totally wrong on this, but I do know that there are some services, paid services, which allow you to build Windows images, but you have to provide them your Windows image, and they'll sysprep it for you with whatever you need. And that's because they are not allowed to distribute images. Again, they just prepare the image that you give them, which is interesting, I think.
Yeah, I guess it's just, it just goes back to James just asking someone at Microsoft, and we can figure out what's needed. I'm even willing to take the 8-minute hit if it just actually, if it's actually well documented and it just works. I'm willing to take the 8-minute hit even. And then just focus on configuring that VM to make it a worker node.
Yep, I'll follow up and try to get an answer for next week.
Yeah,
And,
there is. Oh, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. I mean, I was going to go to the next automation topic.
Yeah, so the advantage of that's like I was researching about GitHub Actions and like the capabilities to run that. Seems KMU with plain KMU works. And these folks from Actuated already run with KVM, but as far as I understood, it's a paid service that they have. So it would be great to have the entire cycle of like getting this CI, building this image daily, I don't know, and publish it as an artifact for this project in specific. This would be very cool. But since there are other parts that are missing to make the entire flow.
Yeah, I mean, I would just first focus on just trying to make this work before trying to figure out how to get this published and automated on a daily basis in some sense.
Yep.
Because I think, I mean, what do you want to do? I mean, are you trying to say, like, you want to bring up a Windows VM, a Linux VM, and then actually have a cluster up as part of you know, merging PRs to do some end-to-end tests?
This could be one of the cases. What I'm trying to do is to spike the Minikube story and understand like the missing pieces of the Minikube to make Windows work on that. I think Bob Sita and Vinicius had some real work, and my idea is to do the continuation of that and understand like the path that we need to take.
Yeah, I think what I would suggest is you get that working first, end to end, without even figuring out like whether this can be done in an automated fashion using a GitHub action. Just if you're able to even bring up a Windows VM and get it configured, even if it takes 8 minutes, that's amazing. I mean, is my you know, my point of view.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm just commenting these things that could be an enhancement and creating tasks for that.
Oh yeah, 100% agree. Yeah. All right, I don't see much else we need to talk about, Amim, unless you have something more about this topic. If not, we can, I think, either close the meeting or I know somebody wanted us to look at this other PR.
One thing, there's a point there. There's no product key in the image, meaning it is in trial and can expire. To answer that question, basically, when you sysprep the image, it will also rearm the image itself, which basically means it will still remain in trial indefinitely until the next boot. So if you build the image now, you can still use it 6 months later and still in trial mode fully and entirely. So
which I think is fine, right? Like we're not trying to say go use this in production or anything like that.
Because you know that would be a bit problematic if you have to rebuild images so often. But yeah, that's something that's already being done automatically by sysprep.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine. You know, as long as it's legal for us to do this, I think it should be fine. Which, if you're doing everything locally on the laptop without publishing, I don't see any issues. But of course, if we want to publish it, then we need to figure that out. So.
Yeah, and again, I still think you can keep the images in your local cloud or whatever. Just not, you know, publishing for the entire world to use, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, I just had a question on more like clarification because I've done some work around unattended install when I was working with Vinicius. Just clarification for QEMU, do you need to have an ISO with you while doing the automated unattended install, the work that is going on? Do you have like locally an ISO file somewhere you point your script to the ISO, or how does that work?
Yeah, I have it running locally. You just need the ISO. You download the Evolve version. yeah, it needs to become a variable, like needs a little bit of cleanup. The other thing you need is the virtio for
Yeah.
network and storage. So the outcome of this, like I could create the image and do the Packer installation and save this as an artifact in the end. So it works. The next phase would be installing the Windows container, the other components that exist, and make it ready to become a node in a cluster.
Okay.
Basically what I did the same process already with Docker, with kind as a control plane instead of Minikube.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I'm doing is redoing the work and testing with Minikube and automating with these scripts as much as possible instead of like do this by hand.
Okay. This is quite similar, I think, to what we've done with the niches then, because it's basically the same process. But we're doing with Hyper-V. And I think we're just having like an ISO and then some scripts to do the Windows install and unattendedly. And then we're doing the setup to make it as a Windows node. The process takes less. It takes like around 7 minutes for us. But you're not publishing any artifacts. That's the only difference.
Yeah, for now we are not publishing as well, but cool.
Yeah. Maybe now would be a good time to bring this up because I think I did a presentation a while back, 2 months ago. I've been out for a while, but we're trying to get this integrated into Minikube. And I was away, Nanda told me that there's some efforts around here to get that work into Minikube as well. I don't know if you're working separately, but had talked to the Minikube folks, the team. They have a meeting on Wednesday, and they welcome the idea of having Windows node on Minikube. So I was hoping if you could collaborate on this. I'm not sure who's interested, but I've seen a few Slack messages here and there of folks who are keen on this. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this up today.
Yeah, Bob, on that topic, right? Like the issue that we've always had is this has been sort of a start-stop effort. It starts, it stops because it's not easy and there's lots of details involved. So we've always had an issue where it starts up and then it just dies down. So again, at the moment, it's in the died down phase. The person who was working on it, I think, is busy with other things, so they're not able to contribute much. So it's like in a down phase.
Yeah. What I was hoping, because we had a POC that we presented earlier on, we were trying to get a proposal out. So I have done the proposal. I'm trying to present it tomorrow to the Minikube folks. But basically, I'm just trying to convert what the POC that we had. So we had like we're setting up Windows node. We have a cluster, and then we configure the node and join it to the cluster. And this is all working out. I was away for a while, but I've had folks test it out. So I've received good feedback on the testing bit. And I was hoping to get to the next phase of actually getting this work done in the Minikube code base. So should be talking with the guys tomorrow. And I'm happy to lead this. I think from our side, you're happy to lead this, but I just wanted to maybe ask if there's anything going on here so we can not have any overlap in the work we're doing.
Yeah, so I mean, you're a little bit closer to this than I am at the moment. As far as I know, the work that was being done is on pause, or is something going on inside?
Yeah.
But I agree. We should collapse the efforts. We should just get one thing working for sure.
Yeah, totally agree. Something I have been talking with Mateus and Vinicius separately. I add you to the conversation, Bob. So let's join efforts and continue from there.
So I mean, is this on a SIG Windows, or is it like a private channel or a group message?
Yeah, this is outside SIG Windows. Can we
just bring it into SIG Windows? Let's do this publicly.
Sure. We are trying to do a scheduled meeting between us first. So when something happens, we move to the SIG Windows channel.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And while I was having this talks with the SIG, the Minikube folks, I think the two guys from Google, they are keen on getting some Minikube visibility, like Minikube usage within Microsoft. So I don't know if that is something the team here can help with. And they're also looking for some full-time contributors on their team, and maybe if they can get some GPU instances running on the Microsoft side. So if that is something anyone here can help with, let me know. Thank you.
Sorry, Bob, I know we're running out of time, but what was the help that you needed? You needed Microsoft instances running on GPU?
Yeah, they want to test out running Minikubes and GPUs. So that was one of it. They also want to get visibility on how Minikube is being used within Microsoft or Microsoft Teams, like Teams and Microsoft. And yeah, they just want more support from Microsoft. So I'm not sure if it's something anyone can help with, but if that's the case, then I'd be glad to reach out to them and let them know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think you would have to talk to James and Mark.
Okay.
We haven't done any, we have not done a lot of work on the Minikube side.
Oh, yeah.
There's been like, I think whatever effort has happened on the Minikube side is actually coming from you folks, from you mainly. Okay. SIG Windows as such hasn't really focused on that. And like I've been mentioning, right, we've always wanted a developer environment for Windows nodes, but we've never been able to get it, so smooth that somebody has just driven it all the way to completion. We've always gotten bogged down, either trying to bring up the Windows VM itself, and which is why I've always been pushing for, like, let's, ignore bringing up the Windows VM and doing the install. Let's do that later. Let's just get it configured first. So I think you folks are in the right track. So maybe can work with you and we can collapse that effort into one.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks.
All right, folks, we're running out of time. I don't think we have time for any more items in the agenda, unless somebody wants to stay on and continue the meeting. Otherwise, we can bring this to a close and then have further conversations on Slack. All right, I'm not hearing any objections. Thank you all for attending. I will see you all in Slack. Thank you, folks.
Thanks. See you.
Thanks. Bye.